All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Kristen Schultz, and I am one of the admissions advisors here at SUNY Plattsburgh. This afternoon, I'm going to be sharing a little bit more information with you about SUNY Plattsburgh, what your time here as a student may look like, and kind of what to expect in your college journey. And I also have a current student, Nicole, joining me today. And so in a moment, I'll allow her to introduce herself. But there'll be some time built in for questions and answers throughout this presentation as well. So if you do have any questions or anything that you'd like me or Nicole to talk about, please feel free to use the chat feature in the presentation. And I will be kind of taking a look at those questions throughout and getting those answered for you. So I'm going to turn it over to Nicole real quick and let her introduce herself and say a little bit about her, and then we'll get started.
So welcome everyone. My name's Nicole. I'm a communication sciences and disorders major with a minor in psychology, and I'm a junior here at SUNY Plattsburgh. I'm from Warwick, New York, which is about an hour and a half-ish from the city and about 4 hours from Plattsburgh.
Great, thank you. Okay, so we're going to start with a couple facts about SUNY Plattsburgh. It was founded in 1889, originally as a teaching college that consisted of only one building, Hawkins Hall, which you can see in this photo. But since then, the campus has grown tremendously, and we now boast an undergraduate student body of around 4,800, with over 60 different majors and minors for students to pursue. And we also have a very diverse student population, including students that come from about 32 different states and 66 different countries that attend Plattsburgh. And so I'm going to ask Nicole to share a little bit about why she chose SUNY Plattsburgh.
Sure. So when I first came to Plattsburgh, I went for an open house in the spring, and I just really fell in love with it. I felt like I knew where everything was when I first went through the tour, and I didn't feel like that for any other place that I went to. I also got to meet the head director of my department, and he was kind enough to give me a whole personal tour of the building that my department's in, and he showed me all of like the speech clinics and stuff like that, which was really cool as well. And I just felt at home, and there were so many nice people holding doors, saying like welcome and stuff like that. So it was just like a great environment when I came. So that was kind of like one of the big reasons why I came here.
Great, thank you. All right. Okay, so this presentation is really going to be an opportunity for you to learn a little bit more about what your time at Plattsburgh may look like, and hopefully answer those questions that you have, whether you are a current senior in high school about to start your college journey, or if you're still a freshman, sophomore, junior, but just looking to get an idea of what might be a good fit for you. And so we'll give you a little sneak peek into what your time here may look like. So your journey to SUNY Plattsburgh, it really begins the summer before fall classes start with summer orientation. And orientation is typically held throughout the month of July. And we know that summers can be very busy for students, a lot of things going on. So if you can't make the orientation date that you are assigned, you can always contact the orientation office and request a different date. And they do their best to accommodate those requests. And at orientation, you'll have the ability to mingle and meet with other incoming students. You'll spend the night on campus in one of our residence halls. You'll eat in the dining hall. You'll participate in icebreakers and programs to get familiar with the campus and really learn more about one another and the students who are coming in as other freshmen with you. One thing I do want to mention is if you are higher on AP exam, on college credit, and a 6 or higher on IB. And so be sure to submit those final transcripts to us prior to orientation so that we can review those credits and get you registered for classes that fit what you need. Another great opportunity to take advantage of during summer orientation will be to visit not only explore the campus, but also explore SUNY Plattsburgh and the North Country. So we are located 1 hour from Montreal, Canada, in Burlington, Vermont, and we have a lot of great destinations to check out. We also have a lot of hiking trails and lakes. We're about 1 hour from Lake Placid. So there's definitely a lot to explore and see outside of the campus. And I'm going to have Nicole share just a little bit about what her orientation experience was like.
Sure. So I actually didn't, as you just said before, it's kind of like separated by birthdays. So whatever orientation you go to is by like everyone's in the same month as you. But I ended up actually not going to my month. I went to my roommate's month. I knew who was my roommate before I went to orientation. I met her actually through the Facebook group that SUNY Plattsburgh set up. And so we ended up going to the same one just so we can like meet each other and see how we liked living with each other and stuff like that. So I went to that one and it was such a great time. We met so many people and we just had a blast. Like I loved sitting there and just not having to worry about like homework and stuff like that, but just being able to meet new people. What's also nice is that since you're already meeting new people, you know familiar faces. So once you first go, the first day of going back onto campus and starting off your semester, you feel like you have a base or like a foundation of so you can build upon finding new people and stuff like that. And that's really helpful because a lot of freshmen sometimes just go in there not knowing anyone and they kind of get overwhelmed, especially the first week. So definitely going to orientation and meeting new people there can really help you transition from high school living and living back at home to going into campus and living in campus and stuff like that.
Great. Okay, so after orientation, you will go back home for a couple weeks, and then you will come back at the end of August for move-in and the start of classes. About 1 month prior to move-in, sometimes a little bit sooner, you will receive your residence hall assignment and roommate. So as Nicole mentioned, she knew her roommate ahead of time, so they were able to connect at orientation. But there's a couple different processes that you can take in selecting a roommate. So first, you can request a roommate, perhaps if you know somebody who is attending Plattsburgh as well, or if you meet a friend like Nicole did through the Facebook group or through another avenue, and you want to request to live together, you can do that. But if you don't know anybody and you are open to the opportunity to meet new people and kind of see what's out there, you can fill out a housing questionnaire. And this is typically going to ask you questions like, are you an early riser? Are you a night owl? Are you loud? Are you quiet? Are you messy? Are you neat? Just to kind of get a better idea of the type of person that you are and what your living style is like. And this allows the housing office to really pair you up with somebody who will have compatible interests like you. We do have 12 different residence halls on our campus, and we do have 3 that are freshman exclusive. So if you choose to live in one of those residence halls, you'll be living with other students who are incoming freshmen as well. And one of the cool things about them is that they have themed floors. So you can kind of choose to live with other students who maybe have similar interests to you. So for example, we have an outdoors floor, a science floor, a leadership floor, and so on. You'll also meet your CA or community advocate, which is what we call them here at Plattsburgh during opening week. And this will be the person that's going to be a resource for you while living on campus. And we'll usually coordinate different events like game nights or movie nights or different things so that you will have the opportunity to meet other students in your residence hall and really get to know one another as you start out your semester. They'll also be a great resource for you to navigate the campus in general. So if you're not sure where to go to do something or have something taken care of, they can definitely direct you to the right spot. So I'm going to have Nicole share a little bit about her experiences living on campus and what she got out of it.
Sure. So I lived, my freshman year, I lived in a freshman dorm. It was a corridor style and it was really nice. I had an RA at the time. We actually just recently changed the name to a CA. But we had an RA at the time, and she was so helpful to me. I would ask her all these different questions because I was like confused about things, and I also wanted to get more involved, especially after the first semester. So she really helped me a lot. The next year, my sophomore year, I lived in a suite style. I actually lived on the 10th floor of one of the buildings, and it was an amazing time. Like I got to pick a whole suite with all my friends, and we got to just hang out there. We had a common room in our suite and also a bathroom that we all shared, which was really nice. And this year I was actually a CA. So I lived in a freshman dorm and I had a great time. I love being in the one room, like a room by myself, but I did love getting to know all of the people on my floor. We did a lot of fun like activities and programs, and I got to have a great time with the rest of the CA team. So it was really a great experience, and next year I'll be a CA. I don't know where I am yet, but hopefully you'll be back in freshman and I'll get to see some of you.
So as you become familiar with the campus too, one of the great things that you can do during opening week is explore even more about Plattsburgh and what we have around the campus. Now the city of Plattsburgh itself is not a huge city, but we do have a lot of amenities that students can take advantage of. So we do have an uptown area that has 3 different shopping centers, including a Walmart, a Target, Bed Bath & Beyond, grocery stores, several fast food spots, coffee shops, and more. And so this makes it really easy and convenient for students to pick up any last minute items that you may have forgotten to bring or anything that you need while you are away at school. I would definitely also recommend that you check out the downtown area of Plattsburgh. So this is where you're going to find a lot of the local Plattsburgh culture, a lot of local restaurants, shops, and different things like that. And there is a very popular restaurant, if you have the opportunity to visit it. It's called Our House Bistro, and they offer 27 different flavors of macaroni and cheese. So that might be a great place to kind of test out some new food. So as you begin your first semester, students typically will take 5 classes a semester at Plattsburgh. That's a full-time student. And you'll usually spend your first 2 years fulfilling your general education requirements in areas like history, math, English, science, and so on. This is why it's so important that you submit those credits that you've earned in high school before you begin, so that we can make sure that we have those credits noted and you're not taking classes you've already taken. We'll also do our best to try and ensure that you're taking at least 1 class within your major in the beginning so that you can get a feel for the program and make sure that it's what you'd like to pursue. However, we do have a lot of students that come in undeclared or not sure what they want to major in, and that's totally fine as well. I will touch on in a couple minutes how that's going to work, but if you are unsure of what you want to major in, coming in undecided is definitely a good way to go and kind of take some classes in different areas to get a feel for what might interest you. We also have the opportunity to be involved in our honors program. So you could be invited to join the honors program at Plattsburgh. And our honors program has 2 tracks. One is the ability to take those general education courses I mentioned in more of a smaller roundtable setting where there's a lot of discussion and it's capped at about 15 students per course. And the second is to do graduate level type work as an undergrad. So you'll be able to write a thesis. You'll spend your undergraduate time writing a thesis. You'll defend it and present it before graduation as part of your program. And you will also have a lot of support available to you as well during your freshman year and beyond. Professors will hold office hours for you to meet with them about classes. You'll have an academic advisor who will help you navigate your major or decide on a major if you are undecided. And we have our Learning Center and Student Support Services for those who may need a little additional help or guidance. So with that, let's talk a little bit about the majors, some of the majors that we have here at SUNY Plattsburgh. So this is a list of some, not all, of our more popular majors that we offer. And as you can see, we have them separated into 3 different schools. So our first school is the School of Arts and Sciences, which will include many of our liberal arts programs. Here you can find programs in areas like art, communication studies, computer science, English. One fun fact is that we are often called a museum without walls because of the extensive artwork that we have displayed in and around campus. Here you can also find our programs in the hard sciences like biology, chemistry, or biochemistry. And we do offer a biomedical sciences degree. So for those of you that are perhaps thinking the pre-med track, that would be a good fit for you. Our second school is Education, Health, and Human Services. And here we offer 2 different tracks within our education program. So one of the unique things about our education program here at Plattsburgh is that we offer a bachelor's to master's 5-year program. So with our adolescent education program, students will come in and they will do a 4-year undergraduate degree in their concentration area of history, math, science, foreign language, and so on. And then they'll do their master's in education. We also offer our childhood and special education major, which will certify students in birth through 6th grade in both special and childhood education, as well as their master's. If you're interested in something like speech pathology or audiology, our communication sciences and disorders major would be the program for that. We also offer a 4-year program in social work, nutrition, and our Fitness and Wellness Leadership program, which has 3 tracks within it. So depending on what you're looking to do with a degree in Fitness and Wellness Leadership, you could pursue athletic training, you could pursue something in the physical or occupational therapy, or you could own your own fitness business. Another area to mention in this school is our nursing program. We do have a very competitive 4-year nursing program here at Plattsburgh. It is a direct entry, so students who are accepted into our nursing program do come in as a nursing student their freshman year, and it is very popular. We typically get around 1,000 applications for a very limited number of spots every year. And we do have some different admissions requirements for our nursing program. So if you are interested in the nursing major, I encourage you to reach out to the admissions office at admissions@plattsburgh.edu, and one of our advisors would be happy to walk you through what those requirements look like. Last, our School of Business and Economics includes 12 majors, and all of our business programs are internationally accredited through AACSB, which is the highest accreditation for business programs. We are the only SUNY to offer a 4-year major in entrepreneurship, and we have majors in global supply chain management and hospitality management, which are 2 very fast-growing fields. And as I mentioned, if you're not sure what you want to major in yet, we can definitely talk to you about those different options that are available. You can come in undecided and work with an academic advisor to really find a major that fits for you. Okay, so now that we've talked about the academic side of things, let's talk a little bit about what there's to do aside from school here at Plattsburgh. So we have over 100 clubs and counting for students to choose from. These include academic clubs, honor societies, Greek life, ski club, and so much more. We offer a lot of different events during the school year. We have a community night at the start of the fall semester where everybody, including community members, staff, faculty, and students, all get together around Hawkins Pond and really just welcome and kick off the start of the school year. And we send emails daily to students to let them know what's happening on campus so that you can always stay up to date. So I'm going to ask Nicole to share a little bit maybe about what else she's involved in at Plattsburgh and what she thinks about the things to do.
Sure, so there's always a ton of things to do on campus. But for clubs and organizations, for me, I'm a part of 2 other clubs. I'm a part of NISLA, which is like the speech and hearing club on campus. It's through my major. And also I'm part of Love Your Melon. I actually helped start the club, and it was really simple to start. So if you have any idea, if you wanted to start a club or you wanted to add something to our campus and stuff like that, it's so easy to do. You just have to go to a few meetings, and then just sign a few papers and stuff like that, and that's it. But Love Your Melon is a club that we raise awareness for pediatric cancer, and we get to do a lot of things off campus and stuff like that. And it's just there's so many clubs and different plays going on, theatrical events, concerts, movie nights, stuff like that. You really are not going to get bored on campus. There's always something to do, and also there's such a wide variety. So if you say like you didn't know about something, or if you were interested in something but you've never done it before, you're still able to go and go to the events or whatever you like to do. We also have a ton of different intramural sports. So if you're interested in sports but you don't want to go D3, we're talking about that in the next slide or so. But you can do that as well too. It just all depends on what you like to do and how you want to get involved and meet new friends. I definitely say getting involved and going, doing clubs and participating in different school events is the best way to go about going through college. It doesn't matter if it's Plattsburgh or any other college. Just getting involved, you get to meet so many new people and make great friends through that. So I definitely recommend getting involved on campus.
And as Nicole mentioned, we are going to touch now on Cardinal Sports. So if you are interested in athletics or you're looking for a school with some good school spirit, we definitely have that here at Plattsburgh. We offer 18 different NCAA Division III sports, and hockey, I would say, is by far the most popular sport. Our hockey teams are really awesome, and every year they're nationally ranked, so that's a great accomplishment. Our women's hockey team has actually won the most consecutive championship titles in the history of the NCAA Division III sports, so that's a really cool thing to kind of, boast about. We also have a club called the Cardinal Red Zone. So that is our student cheering section or our student fan base. And they are really the ones that are getting the crowds hyped up, getting the school spirit going during all of our games. We also offer club and intramural sports. So if you're interested in something that is less demanding than a Division III sport, but that you still want to stay active and involved in, perhaps something like that would be a good fit. And we are in the process of renovating Memorial Hall, which is our student fitness center. And that, when it is complete, is going to include cardio rooms, weight machines, group fitness rooms, and a rock climbing wall. So there's a lot to do, even just stay active within our student fitness center. Okay, so what comes your next year or the second year of being at SUNY Plattsburgh? You wrapped up your freshman year, and what should you anticipate the rest of your time to look like? Sometimes this may be the opportunity to declare a second major or minor. So if you're undecided, the second year is really going to be a good time for you to really nail down what you want to major in. But if you have decided on a major, this might be a good time to explore options of adding a minor or even a second major if you're really ambitious and want to do something like that. So a lot of our programs are designed to have flexibility within other areas that allow for adding a minor or an additional major to be a fairly easy process for students. This is something that you'll talk to your academic advisor about. They'll be able to tell you how many additional classes it would require, what that's going to look like for your timeline here at SUNY Plattsburgh, and what might be a good fit for you given the major that you're interested in. So for example, you may have an interest in music and you know that you've always played an instrument or been really into music, but you know that that's not what you want to major in college. So you've chosen a different area to major in, but you do have some free credits and you do have some space in your program to maybe add something on. And so you decide to add on a music minor. This allows you to still have that passion for music while learning, but also coming out with a 4-year degree in an area that's going to allow you to pursue another career path. One thing that I'm sure is very important to a lot of students as well is the opportunity for experiential learning or learning outside of the classroom. So we are here to teach you as much as we can about the programs that you are pursuing, but getting that hands-on experience is really going to be a great opportunity for you. And there's a variety of different ways that we do this for students. So one of the things that we have on campus is we have a student newspaper. So for those interested maybe in communications or broadcast journalism or journalism, we have a student newspaper, we have a student television station, a student radio station, all great places to get some extra experience before you go out for your dream internship or something like that. Within our communication sciences and disorders, we do have a speech and hearing clinic on campus. And so this allows students to make observations on patients with speech and hearing issues, or just kind of, sit in and experience what it's like to work with patients like that. We also have a traumatic brain injury center on our campus, an adult daycare for those with Alzheimer's, and a Nexus program that identifies and works with those who may be on the autism spectrum. Now, if you're into computer sciences or maybe into something along those areas, we do have our Center for Cybersecurity and Technology on campus. And this is a great spot for computer science students or those interested in technology to get some ethical hacking experience, so to speak. And so we have a great spot that's been recently done for them. And what is great about looking at a four-year college versus a larger university center is that you're not really competing with those graduate students or, PhD students or different things like that for research opportunities. So you have opportunity to assist faculty with their research as an undergraduate student, which is very unique. We underwent a large renovation on our sciences building within the last couple years. And with that, we also brought in new technology like a DNA sequencer, an MNR and a CMR machine. And we also have a $50,000 radar gun that students can actually take out onto Lake Champlain to collect data samples and bring them into the field. So there is a lot of opportunity on our campus for experiential learning outside of the classroom. I'm going to ask Nicole to share a little bit about what experiences she's had outside of the classroom with her major.
Sure. So as you said before, we have a speech and hearing clinic on campus. And what's nice is that through the classes, we are kind of like, it's an assignment. So we have to go into the speech and hearing clinic and get like our hearing tested, observe a therapy session and stuff like that. From the beginning, I'm pretty sure it was my intro class, we went to that. So freshman year, as soon as you get in there, you'll be able to get into the speech and hearing clinic and observe and understand like what this grad students are doing and how they work with certain clients and stuff like that. What's also nice is that actually I'm in an audiology class right now, and we had labs, so we would go into the hearing center, and we would be able to test out the equipment, test on each other, do hearing tests on each other and stuff like that, which was really cool. And we got to really be familiar with the type of equipment and stuff like that that we would be using if we did want to go to audiology, which was really cool as well. And it kind of opened my eyes, because at first I didn't really know about speech or audiology. I only knew about speech therapy. And then once I got into this audiology class and went through the labs and stuff like that, it really opened my eyes to how cool that profession is too. So it can get confusing picking for masters, but it's definitely a great experience to go and get that I'm trying to think of what it is. Experience, sorry. The experience, because then it kind of boosts you from other people that don't have that experience in, for grad school and stuff like that.
Great. So, and talking a little bit more about even gaining more experience, another opportunity that you will have available is landing internships or internship experiences. So with experiential learning, those tend to be a lot of on-campus class-related type experiences, whereas landing an internship is going to allow you for a little bit of a different experience, perhaps off-campus, maybe even outside of Plattsburgh, somewhere near where you live or where you envision yourself maybe living after graduation. And so when the time comes during your college experience, you'll have the chance to meet with an internship coordinator within your program who will help work with you to find the different opportunities that are available and land that internship. Perhaps there's an internship that you've always dreamed about doing, or some company or business you've always dreamed about working for. That's something that you can also talk to your internship coordinator about and see if that's a feasible internship that we can help you apply for and hopefully land. Okay, so I have seen many of the students that applied to Plattsburgh that come in were very involved in high school, and a lot of them held leadership positions in their respective programs or extracurriculars that they did. So there's definitely ways to continue those experiences here at Plattsburgh, or maybe if that's something you always dreamed of doing in high school, this is your chance to do it now in college. And you may be asking, well, how do I do that? There's a variety of different ways that you can become a leader on campus. You can be the person that participates in class. So this kind of seems a little obvious, but raise your hand and answer questions, get involved, foster discussions, talk to the faculty. That's a great way to just kind of show a little bit of leadership skills and develop those skills. You may also have loved living on campus your first or second year, and so you can apply to become a community advocate, which Nicole mentioned she did. And that's working within a residence hall, and so I'm working with other incoming students or students on campus to help foster their experiences. You can also get involved in the different clubs that we have. Like I mentioned, we have over 100 student clubs and organizations, and so taking positions on those e-boards is a great way to build some leadership skills. And there's just so many different ways that you can get involved and find ways to build your personal skills and your leadership skills here at Plattsburgh. Okay, so also some of you may be interested in the opportunity to study away or study abroad during your time in college. And because we are a SUNY school, you actually have the luxury of utilizing all 600 different locations throughout the SUNY system, which really allows you to find a program that suits and fits your needs best. Whether it is a full semester abroad, a year, a summer, a semester at sea, whatever you're looking to do, we can help you figure that out and find a program that works for you. Some classes may even have a study abroad component built into them. And SUNY Plattsburgh is also one of 4 SUNYs to participate in the National Student Exchange. So this is a little bit different than studying abroad, but what it does is it allows our students to travel within the United States to spend a semester attending a different school at Plattsburgh prices. So you'll have the opportunity to spend a semester taking classes somewhere else and then transfer those credits back to Plattsburgh after your time is over. It's a really cool opportunity to say that maybe you lived in Hawaii for a semester, or Colorado or California, or wherever we have those programs available. And as you move through your time at SUNY Plattsburgh and the different things that you'll get involved in, it's really going to start helping you prepare for graduation and your next steps. So our Career Development Center is going to be a great resource to you, probably starting, as early as your freshman year to figure out when you start figuring out what you want to do, but really your junior and senior year when you start thinking about graduation and beyond. So you can walk into the Career Development Center with a blank sheet of paper and they can help you develop that letter or a resume, cover letter or resume. They also do mock interviews where you'll come in fully prepared and dressed as if you're going on the interview, and you'll sit down with somebody, they'll ask you questions, you'll answer as if it was the real interview, and then they'll provide feedback to you about what went well and what you can work on so that you feel even extra prepared when you go for that real interview. They'll also assist you with helping to declare different majors if you're looking to maybe change your major or not sure what you really want to do, and find career paths with the skills assessment test. So if you are unsure of what maybe your passion is or where your skills lie, this is a great way to help kind of develop that. There's also Handshake, which is our portal for students to look for jobs and internship opportunities. So everything's nicely laid out and available for students to scroll through and see what might be a good fit or interest for them. And one of the cool things is that you can use a lot of these services not only as a current student at Plattsburgh, but also as an alumni after you graduate. So Nicole, can you kind of talk a little bit about some of the steps that you've taken or will be taking to prepare for graduation?
Sure. So as I said before, I have to go to grad school. So this coming semester is going to be all about this. I'm probably going to end up in the Career Development Center a lot. Definitely getting my resume finalized, although I have it already set up, but just getting it finalized and stuff like that. And also I have to take a GRE test, which is like an SAT for grad school kind of. So I'm going to have to do that as well. And just finding different grad programs that I like and I'm interested in. Definitely, if you do need to go into grad school, be prepared because a lot of the grad schools do have interviews and stuff like that. So definitely, if you do go to Plattsburgh, going to the Career Development Center will really help that, especially with the mock interviews and stuff like that. Also for the career development, they work with JCPenney, and every semester they have JCPenney suit-up event. And so you basically can get anything for an interview, any professional clothing and stuff like that for really cheap. I know a lot of people saved a lot of money buying like suits and stuff like that. So definitely utilizing that time and getting all the professional clothing that you need for an interview or for an internship or whatever you have to do. Definitely go there and try to get as much clothes as you can. And you save a lot of money for that.
Okay, thank you. That's great advice. So looking ahead then, we have come to graduation. And to be honest, your 4 years are really going to feel like they fly by at SUNY Plattsburgh. And it's our job here to make sure that we provide you with all of the resources to be successful in your college journey and beyond. But I also like to tell students that it's up to you to be an advocate and use your voice and ask questions during your time here. So we provide a ton of resources, but it's up to you to use those resources and really develop yourself so that you are best prepared for graduation after 4 years. And if you take advantage of the things that we have to offer, you may be one of over the 90% of students who are in graduate school or have a job within 6 months of graduation. Okay, so let's talk about what we're looking for in an applicant here at SUNY Plattsburgh. What we are typically looking for is a high school average. The middle 50% is usually around an 85 to a 92. So really that middle average right there is what we're looking for. We do require the SAT or ACT. And with that being said, with the SAT, the middle 50% of applicants is around a 1060 to 1180. And the ACT middle 50% of applicants is usually around a 21 to a 25. We don't require both tests. You can choose to take one or the other. If you do take multiple SATs, we will super score. And with your ACT, we are looking at the composite score. If you, one thing to mention is for transfer students, if I have any transfer students that are listening, we do look for a GPA between a 2.6 and a 3.3. That's around the middle 50% there. And scholarships are also automatically awarded to students who qualify. So when you apply to Plattsburgh, you will be reviewed for merit scholarships. As I mentioned earlier too, some of our programs do have different admissions requirements than what is listed here. So if you are unsure of what a program is looking for, or you wanted a little more information about what we're looking for in an applicant, you can reach out to our admissions office, admissions@plattsburgh.edu, and we'd be happy to chat with you about that. A couple other things, we are rolling admissions at Plattsburgh, so we don't have any specific deadlines to apply. However, we do encourage students to get their applications in by a certain date. We are on the Common App or the SUNY app, and we have no preference on which application you use to apply. For freshmen, we recommend that you get your application in by December 1st. For transfers, that's March 1st for the upcoming fall semester. And with your FAFSA, we recommend that you file that usually around December 15th. So that really gives you enough time to hear back on your admissions decision, get your financial aid package, and really kind of explore all of your options before the deposit deadline that is May 1st. Okay, and so with that, I invite you all to connect with us, connect with SUNY Plattsburgh, see what's going on, and stay up to date on what's happening. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. We have the hashtag PlattsLife to stay very up to date on what's going on with all of our students and on campus. And so it's a great way to connect with us. And we look forward to hopefully connecting with you on some of those different platforms. And so with that, I would like to thank you all for taking the time to listen to this presentation. In a moment, I am going to turn it over to Nicole, who is going to give you a virtual tour of our campus. While she's giving the tour, if anybody does have any questions about anything she talks about, anything she points out, please feel free again to use the chat feature, and I will pop in and have Nicole ask those questions for you, answer those questions for you. But thank you so much for joining us, and now I'm going to turn it over to Nicole.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming and staying with me for the tour. Again, my name's Nicole. I'll be your tour guide for today. If you have any questions about anything, please put it in the chat and we'll be happy to answer as soon as we can. Hopefully I'll be able to answer all the questions throughout. We're going through basically the whole campus today. So it'll be about like 45 minutes, an hour-ish tour. But definitely if you have time and you want to come up to SUNY Plattsburgh after all this is over, definitely feel free to come. If you do come to SUNY Plattsburgh, the first thing that you would see is this sign right over here. You would end up, if you're coming off of the highway, which usually a lot of people do, you'd be coming down this road right here, which is Broad Street, and then you go right through campus over here. This is one of the two streets on campus that kind of like split the campus into thirds. I'll show you the other one when we get to the other side. But as we start, I'm going to start right behind this sign. And this is where a lot of the academic buildings are. So as you can see, we have Hawkins Pond right over here. This is the center of all the academic buildings. We have Hudson Hall, which is the science building. We're actually going to go into this building, so I'm not going to talk much about it. We have Red K Hall over here, and we also have Ward Hall right here. Before I mention this building over here, I'll talk more about the pond. So this is an area where you can just sit out and hang out with your friends. You can eat right over here, but like in between classes or something like that. A lot of the clubs on campus will use this area for different events that they have. Even Plattsburgh itself will host like bigger events like community night, alumni weekend in the fall and stuff like that. They'll host that over here too. It's just an amazing area where you can just sit and relax. There's always like ducks swimming in the pond too, so if you're interested in like nature or wildlife, stuff like that, you'll definitely see it over here. So now we're going to move to this building over here, which is Hawkins Hall. This is the second oldest building on campus, and it holds majors like mathematics, Latin American studies, poli-sci, nursing, nutrition, and gender women's studies. But there's a ton of other gen ed classes that will be hosted in this building, so you'll probably have at least one class in this building. You'll definitely get more familiar with it once you get here. So as we walk into the building, this is one of the auditoriums. This is Gilt's Auditorium. If you were to come to our open house and we would have it in person, this would be the area where we would have it. We also have a ton of other things that happen in this auditorium, such as different concerts, theatrical presentations, and like large presentations. A lot of movie nights and stuff like that would be held here as well, which is really cool. And also the community uses it as well. I had a music class, and we had to go and watch a choir from the high school, the Plattsburgh High School, and they ended up performing here, which was really amazing. And it was very convenient because it was on campus and we had to go to it. So as we go upstairs, we have the nursing lab. As I said before, nursing is one of the majors in this building. So this is the nursing skills lab. Here we have lifelike mannequins that the nursing students can practice on. They're able to talk, give birth, draw blood, do basically any bodily function that a human can do, they can do. And we also have a ton of different equipment that is used in this area, and it's all the same hospital equipment that CVPH, which is Champlain Valley Physicians Hospital, uses. That hospital is actually right across the street from our campus. It's not even a 5-minute walk, and the biomed, nursing, biology students, they'll be able to utilize that as a resource to do observation hours and volunteer there and stuff like that, which is really awesome. Really any health profession is in there, so if you're interested in working in a hospital setting, you'll definitely be able to go in there and do some observation hours or just job shadow and stuff like that, which is really cool. So as we go down to the first level again, we're at Einstein Bros Bagels, which is one of the many places on campus to eat. We are very into food here at SUNY Plattsburgh, so you'll definitely not be hungry. And also you have a ton of variety. I'll show you a ton of other places as we go on through this tour, but this is the first one. This actually uses dining dollars, which I like to call dining dollars as like the debit card of campus food. So say if you get $3 worth of food here, you'll be able to just give them, say, dining dollars, and the cashier would swipe your card and take off the $3 from the total amount of dining dollars that you have. If you go over the dining dollars, obviously you have to like pay your own money, but for any place on campus that involves food, you can use your meal plan to get the food and everything, which is really helpful because you don't have to spend your own money on campus. What's also nice about this is that not only do they have great food, they have bagels, wraps, sandwiches, they have great coffee and smoothies, but also it's located right in an academic building. So you don't have to go all the way across campus to go get food and then come all the way back to go to your class. You'll be able to just go over here, get your food real quick if you want to eat it here or go bring it up to your class. So it's really convenient, and it's just a great place to go and just get something quick to eat. So next we go right back outside. This is Hawkins Hall, but the back side of it. And now we're at Ausable Hall, which is the home for the School of Business and Economics. As we go in, this is what the lobby looks like. I like to point out we are also AACSB accredited. I always like to brag about it because it's a really high distinction amongst all business schools, and only 5% of business schools worldwide have this distinction. So it's really amazing, and it's a great thing to put on your resume that you went to a school that was AACSB accredited. Since it's such a high distinction, a lot of the employers will look at that and kind of put you ahead of all the other students that didn't go to a school that was AACSB accredited. So as we go in through the building, right here we have Bloomberg Financial Trading Lab, which is one of the many labs in this building. This is primarily used by the finance and accounting students, and they'll be able to check on stocks, just learn more about the business world and stuff like that. They get a lot of hands-on experience and looking at stocks and kind of analyzing how the trends are and stuff like that. So you can obviously do that if you want to do that on your computer, but here a lot of the finance and accounting students will utilize this area as well for their class or a lab that they might have. Also, we have the Center for Cybersecurity and Technology Lab. So as you can see, there's a ton of computers over here, and this is utilized by the MIS department and also the computer science department. Here you're able to get hands-on experience with a ton of things, configuring of firewalls, malware analysis, network monitoring, and so much more. And here they're able to legally hack, as we say, and abide by the ethical hacking code of conduct. What's also nice is that the cybersecurity club on campus will utilize this area too. And so they'll have their meetings in this room, usually after classes are over and stuff like that. And they're able to just practice more and just like mess around and stuff like that and have fun, which is really awesome as well. Oop, can't see the thing. Okay. So along with the computer labs, we also have classrooms in Ausable Hall. So here is one of the lecture style classrooms. So as you can see, it's a tier style. So the seating up at the top is lower than the ones on the bottom. This is how all of our lecture style classrooms are. We have a few more, and I'm going to show you one later in the tour. But they're all set up this way. What's nice about this though is it's specifically made for business and economics students. So they have areas where you can plug in your laptop or other electronic while you're in class, if you have to take notes online, or if you have to do something online for like a class project or something like that, you'll be able to plug it in. And we also have monitors all over the room, so they'll be able to utilize those as well during the class. So next, we're right outside Hudson Hall. I mentioned that when we were at the pond, but I like to point out the pond is kind of like behind this tree and building over here, and Hawkins Hall is also behind there as well. So Hudson Hall is the building that holds 50 plus STEM majors and minors, including biomedical science, medical technology, robotics, and a ton more. We also have 10 pre-health advisement programs, such as pre-med, pre-physical therapy, and pre-pharmacy. But as we go in here, this building has a lot of the labs. So as you can see, this is the Anatomy and Physiology Lab. We have a ton of different mannequins that show different aspects of the body. So as you can see here, the muscles, bones, and like different organs and stuff like that. What's nice about this is that there's just so much hands-on experience for a lab. Usually the nursing and biology students will be using this lab, but if you're interested in doing anatomy and you're not a nursing student or a biology student, you'll still be able to go into a class and take a lab for it, which is really cool. My freshman year, I had to take a biology class for a gen ed, and I ended up taking the lab, and I had such a great time. We got to dissect things. We did simulations on the computers and stuff like that, and it was just a great grade booster. I loved the hands-on experience, so I did really well in the lab, and it really helped my grade in the class as well, which is really awesome. And it also gave me another credit, so that was pretty cool too. I also like to point out we have a table that is made for dissecting things. If you wanted to, obviously, as you can see here, lay out bones and stuff like that and just observe what you're studying and stuff like that, which is really cool. We also have a ton of other labs in this building, such as like a chemistry lab, robotics lab, molecular biology lab, physics lab, and so much more. All right, so next we are going to head out over across this bridge, but I like to point out over here, this is the backside of Hudson Hall, and also where all the other buildings that we were at, and the pond is on the other side of this building over here. This street is Broad Street, the first street that we were at with the sign, which is like right over here around that area. And as we go across here, this bridge kind of connects the academic side from the like dorm side and more of the like clubs, organizations side Obviously, there's still a few more academic buildings on this side, and we're actually going to go into one now. This is Macomb Hall. But I like to point out before we head in 3 different things, actually 4 things. So this over here, you can see there's like a red path that we have. What's nice about this is that it is heated. So when it does snow, and it does snow, and it does get very cold up in Plattsburgh, especially in the winter time, you'll be able to walk on here without fearing that you're gonna slip on ice, or if you don't want to get like your shoes wet or something like that, you'll be able to walk on this, and it's completely dry because it just melts the snow away, which is awesome. Also, we have right over here, this is Kehoe. This is one of the buildings that has like admissions, financial aid, student accounts, payroll. So say if you want to get a job on campus, you'll be able to go to them, and study abroad, and a ton of other offices. You'll probably end up at least once in this building, figuring out your account for Plattsburgh and stuff like that. And what's nice is that it's all in one building, so you don't have to go all the way across campus if you need to go to more than one place. We also have Myers Hall, which is the art building. That we're actually going to end at this building, so I'm not going to talk more about that. And also we have Feinberg Library. We're going to go right into there right after this building over here. This is Macomb Hall. This is the building for the Communication Studies department. So as we go in, as you can see, this is the bottom level of the building, and this is all dedicated for Communication Studies majors. So as you can see, there's a ton of area for students to do the behind the scenes, figuring out like the film and stuff like that, recording and everything, the audio, whatever they have to do. But also if you're interested in being front and center in front of the camera, you can as well. What's nice about this is that it's all student operated. We have a TV station and also 2 radio stations. PSTV is the TV station, and as you can see, she's filming right now for that. And what's nice about that is that it's broadcasted throughout the community. So anyone that lives around SUNY Plattsburgh is able to see and watch what you have to say or what you're reporting on and stuff like that, which is really cool. The radio stations, WARP and WQKE, those are also student operated, and they are broadcasted out through the community. So anyone really that lives or is by SUNY Plattsburgh will be able to listen in on what you're talking about, or what you're playing, what kind of music you like and stuff like that, which is awesome too. And it's a great hands-on experience, and a lot of students graduate and are employed in high TV and radio production companies such as MTV, iHeartMedia, Showtime, NBC, Peloton, and so much more. But upstairs we have lecture hall classes. Before I say anything about the lecture hall, I like to point out that this is not what the lecture halls look like. This is massive. This is not all the other lecture style classrooms that have classes in here. In there, they're a lot smaller. This class right here is not for any classes. You'll not have a class in there. This is mainly for like if there's a movie presentation, or if there's a speaker that comes and they need it's like a large group gathering that's happening, they'll have that here. You will not have a classroom here. For what a classroom would normally look like, it's probably one of these sections over here, maybe even a little smaller. But as you can see, that it's tier styled, so the seating up here is higher than the seating down here, and that just helps you to see who's presenting up in the front. If it's a professor or another speaker or something like that, you'll still be able to see them. What's also nice is, you can't really see it in this picture, but we have holes in the walls, and that helps reflect back the sound from the front of the room to the back, which is really awesome as well. If you do like sitting in the back more than in the front, you'll still be able to hear. And say if you don't, you'll be able to go into the professor and ask if they can put a microphone on, and they're more than happy to. And they know that a lot of people like sitting up in the back. They feel more comfortable up there, learning up there and stuff like that. So they're more than happy to put on a microphone and use it for you, which is great. Usually for lecture style classrooms, it caps at about 50 students. But usually the the classes don't fill up to 50 students. It's usually a lot less. So you'll still be able to spread out and have your own space, which is really awesome. The lecture style, the other halls or the other classrooms have a desk that go right across the row, and then the chairs are attached to the desk instead of these ones that flop over. And that helps you to also spread out and kind of do your own thing if you wanted that space, which is really nice. As you go through your academic career at SUNY Plattsburgh and start getting into more higher education or higher level classes, the class sizes decrease. It's about a 23-to-1 ratio from students to professors. So you'll still be able to, since that's small, you'll be able to know a lot of your classmates and also be able to learn, get to know the professor as well, which is awesome. Especially if you have to go to grad school and you need letters of recommendation, you'll definitely be able to get to know them and ask them for letters of recommendation, which is great as well. All right, so next we're into the library. I mentioned the library when we were outside. Kehoe and also Yoakum are all back over here. And now this is actually like the main floor, I like to say, of the library. Here is more of like a conversational speech. So you'll see a lot of students with a group of friends or a group project working together and talking more at a normal level. But we also have another level above us that is more of like a quieter area. So only 1 or 2 people are sitting at a table and it's a lot quieter. I also like to point out behind this bookshelf and behind the glass windows is a deep quiet zone. So there's really no noise at all. There's like no keyboard clicking, no one eating food or eating bags of chips or something like that. It's dead silent, and this just helps how people how they like to study. A lot of people get distracted by people walking around and talking like that, especially me. I usually like to go into these corrals that are back here. In there, it's a little room where there's 2 chairs, a desk, and a computer. You'll be able to close yourself in there and just focus on your work. That's usually where I go. If I sit out here, I usually get distracted by people talking and everything like that. But going in here, you'll be able to just focus on that. And also, since there's a window in there as well, it doesn't feel like you're crammed into one little area, which is nice. I also like to point out before we go anywhere else, we have a help desk right behind the staircase over here. There you'll be able to find a librarian that's always there, sitting there, and they're willing to help with anything. If you need to find a textbook, if you need help with citations or finding a reference that is valid for a certain project, they'll be able to help you, which is amazing. There's also library technicians that are students. So if you wanted to work in the library, you could and get paid, which is awesome. And they'll also help you with that as well, even finding books on the shelves. I also like to point out that we have a reservation area for textbooks. A lot of the professors will give a textbook to the library for their class, and then the students will be able to rent it out for free, which is amazing. A lot of the textbooks can be very pricey. I've had textbooks that were over $300. And so instead of me spending the $300, I used this area and was able to use the textbook and whenever I needed to, which is awesome. So if you didn't want to spend that money, or if you feel like you're not really going to use the textbook, but you need it for, say, like one homework assignment or something like that, you'll be able to use this area and get the textbook. You can rent it out for 2 hours, do what you got to do with the textbook, and then bring it back or renew it for another 2 hours, which is great too. And a lot of people don't really use that, so definitely try to utilize that area because you'll save a ton of money. So next we're gonna go to the bottom level of the library. This is the computer lab. As you can see, we have a ton of computers over here. We have both PC and Mac, and they're equipped with course-specific software. So if, say, you are on the fence of getting a laptop, or if you, say, your laptop broke or something like that, you'll still be able to do your homework and get the right software for that specific homework, which is awesome. Also, I like to point out we have printers over here, and also all over the library. But you'll be able to print really anything. You get 500 prints per semester, and usually you don't go over those 500 prints. I know maybe like one person that's gone over those 500 prints, but if you do, it's $1.50 for 100 more, so it is affordable to get more. We also have scanners on each floor of the library as well. So say if you were sick or you had to miss a class for something, instead of copying down all the notes from like a friend or something like that, you'll just be able to scan it and it'll send it to your email, and it's so easy. Also, if you do rent out that textbook, you can scan the pages as well, and so you'll be able to have those pages for your homework, or if you wanted to use it for a certain like studying or whatever you got to do, which is also helpful and saves a lot of money and also time. So right next to the computer lab, we have the Learning Center, which is the free in-person and online peer tutoring for 100 plus courses annually. This is the area where all the in-person tutoring happens. So what's nice about this is that it's a paid job. So if you wanted to become a tutor, you would just have to get recommended by the course instructor and have earned a B or better in the course. And you'll be able to get paid for tutoring students that are in that course now. What's also nice is that not only do we have courses or tutoring for the courses on campus, but we also have time management tutors and study skills tutors. So what's nice about that is that if you say are involved in a lot of things on campus and you have a ton of academic requirements and all that stuff, you can go to them and they'll help you with figuring out your schedule, how to time manage and work your schedule around what you want, and also make time for yourself. And also for the study skills, maybe that student has had a class that was with the professor that say you were going, had trouble studying for, they'll be able to help you and what works for them and stuff like that, which is also very helpful too. So right next to the library, we're actually back on the outside. This is the Angels College Center. It's actually connected to the library. So what's nice is that this center has a lot of food places. So you don't have to go outside to go eat. You can just go right through the library and be able to connect and go and get food and go back. What's nice is that when it is cold out, you don't have to go outside and like walk through snow, or if it's raining, like you don't have to get wet to go get food and then go back to the library. You're just able to go in in the building, which is nice. We also have a courtyard that's behind the ACC. We're actually like right over here on the back side, the opposite side of the ACC. And this courtyard is used by a lot of the school if they have like an event going on, or other different organizations and clubs utilize this area for their events and even meetings and stuff like that. When it is nice out, you'll definitely see a ton of people sitting and enjoying their lunch here or just hanging out with friends. So as we go in, the courtyard is right over here, as you can see. This is Bergie's area. This is one of the other places on campus to eat. So we have Subway, which is like the sandwich place, the chain restaurant, and also we have Griddles and Sonos right over here. Griddles is open in the morning, and it's a breakfast place, so you can get really anything that you can think of for breakfast. We have pancakes, French toast, egg sandwiches, different pastries. They have quesadillas. I love the quesadillas, and I always get those when I go to Griddles. And then after 4 p.m., it becomes Sonos, which is a Chipotle-style place to eat on campus. There you can get burritos, burrito bowls, tacos, nachos, quesadillas, again, really anything that you would find at a Chipotle, you would find there. That's actually fairly new, but both of these areas over here take dining dollars. As I said in Einstein Bros, when we were back in Hawkins Hall, that's like the debit card part of our meal plan type of thing, as I said. Yeah, so that's, they have amazing food, and you'll definitely see a line going out, almost out the door for, like, I'm sorry, Griddles, I completely forgot the name of it. For Griddles and stuff like that, you'll definitely see a lot of people eating there. Before we go anywhere else, I'd like to point out Coffeehouse, which is almost like a talent show that we have on campus. It happens every Wednesday after 8 p.m. And so A lot of people like to just hang out over here and watch the talent. Obviously, if you wanted to sing, perform an instrument, anything like that, dance, you'll be able to do that. But also if you just wanted to be funny, or if you just wanted to do whatever you wanted to do there, you could as well. I know someone sat up there and just ate a bowl of cereal in front of everyone, and they did it for like as a joke. But it was just really anything that you can think of or anything you want to do, you can do here. So next is another place to eat on campus. This is a Sundowner. This is actually the second largest place to eat on campus. So as you can see, we have a ton of different places to get food. This area is for like Asian style cuisine. They have really great stir fry on Fridays, and that is when you'll see a ton of people lining up for that. We also have an Italian area, American style, so burgers, chicken fingers, fries, stuff like that. We have an area for vegan, and also in this area there's always a dish that rotates in and out every single day. And also we have a salad area over here. What's nice is that every place on campus is accommodating to any type of allergy, diet preference and stuff like that. So say if you are, say, vegan or vegetarian, you want to get a veggie burger here, they will bring your veggie burger back. This is actually like the behind the scenes like kitchen area. They'll bring it back there and cook it on a grill specific for vegan, vegetarian meals. So you'll be able to make sure that there's no like cross-contamination on the grill or something like that, or if it's cooking next to a burger on the grill stuff, that's not going to happen. Also, if you say that you are gluten-free or if you have an allergy, they'll be able to help you with any type of anything. They'll give you even like a menu so that you can see what is gluten-free, or if you have like a peanut allergy or something like that, they'll be able to tell you what has what in it and what you can and cannot eat, which is amazing as well. You just have to tell one of the employers that and they'll help you with anything. This also uses dining dollars as well. So next, right next to the Sundowner, Sundowner's like right over there, this is the Campus Express store. Here you can really find anything here. It's like a convenient mart on campus. So you can find like laundry detergent, Lysol, anything like that. And then also like chips, candy, sodas, really anything that you can think of, you can find here. What's nice about this is that it's also part of the dining plan. So you get 35 dining dollars, depending, that's for the freshman plan. But for the other plans, there's a different range of amount of money and stuff like that. But you'll be able to get the, you'll get express dollars and you'll only be able to use it here. So you can buy literally anything that you want, which is amazing. I also like to point out we have Scoops right back here, and that's like an ice cream and smoothie place on campus. It's really great to go and get something quick right before class. The smoothies are amazing, and you'll always see a ton of people with the smoothie cups in their hands. Even if it's very cold out, they'll still be drinking the smoothies. They're so good, and they're so healthy and fresh, and it's just an amazing place to eat and go get like a treat. This also uses dining dollars. So next, we're right outside. The Sundowner and the Express store are kind of behind the staircase over here. But I like to point out over here we have the information desk, which is an area where you can find a ton of things on campus. They help with, or they have tickets that they sell for different events and games on campus. So like the hockey games, you can find your tickets there. And also they have movie passes for the movies, movie theaters off campus and stuff like that. And also season ski passes you'll be able to buy there. I also like to point out the Career Development Center. I know you saw this in the presentation, but again, this is the area where you can get help with really anything that has to do with finding a job or internship. So they'll be able to help you build your resume and write your cover letter. They're also able to provide a list of internships and other jobs on and off campus that you can be able to apply to. They also do mock interviews and stuff like that. So right next across the hall from the info desk, which is like right over here through the window, the windows, this is the hub. This is the Center for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. This is actually fairly new. It was just built or like added onto this building about a year or so ago. So this area is just another area where you can hang out with your friends, get to know people, and also a lot of clubs utilize this area as well. They'll have like support groups here, different club meetings and events, stuff like that. We also have Title IX and violence protection back over here as well. Upstairs in the ACC, we have the Blue Room, or Flint Commons. Usually people will call it the Blue Room though. Again, this is an area where you can hang out with your friends, do some homework, or eat. But I like to point out the main thing in this area is Tim Hortons. This is almost like a Dunkin' Donuts for the North Country. So you can find really anything. They have amazing coffee, different drinks, stuff like that. They also have breakfast food. Really anything that you can find at Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks, you'll be able to find here. This also uses dining dollars as well, and you'll definitely see a line going out the door, especially in the morning when everyone wants to get their coffee. Yeah, their coffee is so good. I would highly recommend trying it. I think Tim Hortons is better than Dunkin', I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, it's definitely a great place to go and get something to drink. So right across the road from the ACC is the campus bookstore. Obviously, you can see we have a ton of merch all throughout this place. If you wanted to buy merch, you could, and you'd just have to go onto SUNY Plattsburgh's website and you can order it from there. But I like to point out we have the bookstore attached to the back over here. What's nice about this is that you can order your books online, and then the first week of school, you'll just be able to go in there, tell them your name, and they'll give you the books. It's so simple to just get your books. And even if, say, you couldn't find the book online or it was out of stock for some reason when you first try to order, you'll be able to go in here and find the books. There's physical books in this area as well that you can buy. And so before we head into this building over here, this is where the bookstore is, and the ACC is right over here. But before I mention anything else, behind the bookstore, we have University Police and also the Health Center. So University Police are police officers that are run by the state. So they are trained police officers that have gone through all the schooling and everything like that. They're not security guards. They help with literally anything that you need. If there's any emergency or anything like that, they'll be able to help you. What's nice is that they are very involved on campus. You'll see them patrolling either walking on the sidewalk or going through with their cars and stuff like that. Just making sure everything's okay. Also, if there's a building program for wherever dorm building you're living in, you'll probably see at least one of them there. They really like to get involved and meet new students. They want to just seem to be a familiar face to everyone. And they also just like to hang out with all the students and get to know them. So you'll definitely see University Police on campus and going through the buildings and stuff like that. We also have the Health Center, as I said before. This is an area that we have nurse practitioners and also doctors on campus. They're able to prescribe basic medicine, so something for like strep throat, sinus infection, the flu, stuff like that. Obviously, if it's something bigger, so say like someone broke their bone or something like that, they can't really help you with that, but they will send you to Champlain Valley Physicians Hospital, where you'll be able to get treated there. Again, that's the hospital that is right across campus, about a 5-minute walk, not even. And also, I forgot to mention before, it is the largest hospital north of Albany. So we have a pretty big area where you can get treated or something like that, which is really nice. Okay, so now we're gonna go into Memorial Hall, which is the gym on campus. This is actually one of the 2 gyms that we have. So as you can see, we have like the basketball court. This is utilized by mainly recreational teams and also just people wanting to hang out. But the Division III basketball and volleyball teams do use this area for when they have games and stuff. This is going to look completely different. This building is actually going to get renovated in the next few years, but this area might look a little different. We're going to have a skywalk that goes all the way across the ceiling over here, and people will be able to run and do whatever they want to do up there, which is awesome. And again, this is just an area for recreation usually and stuff like that. As we go downstairs to the bottom level of this building, we have the fitness center. So this is going to look again different. It's going to be a lot bigger and look a lot nicer, even though it already looks nice now. As you can see, we have a ton of different machines. We have area for arms, upper body. We also have like cardio machines over here and legs area back here. I also like to point out that we have an area for stretching and doing abs. I know the gym in my hometown, there's no area for that, so it's like awkward for me to just lay down and stretch or do abs or something like that in the middle of everything. So having this area is really nice, and it makes you feel like you're in the right area. No one's like looking at you like, why is she laying in the middle of the floor? So you'll be able to go in there and just do what you got to do there. We also have a ton of different aerobic classes that happen every single day. There's a whole schedule on the door and also online that you can see, and which classes are happening what day and stuff like that. I love going to the Zumba, yoga, cycling classes, but there's a ton of other ones. There's a lot of core classes, hard body classes, kickboxing is a very popular one, and just a ton of other ones. Really anything that you can think of, you'll be able to find. That's also a paid job too, so if you wanted to be an instructor for anything, you could as well. Also on this floor, we have the climbing wall, which is very popular on campus. Here you'll be able to just, if you want to have fun and just go and climb, but also we have a climbing club on campus that utilizes this area all the time. What's nice about this is it's going to be renovated as well, and it's going to be a story higher, so it's just a lot more fun for if you're interested in climbing and stuff like that. I've never gone climbing before until this, and it was a great experience, and I loved climbing. With my friends, we had a great time. So definitely try to utilize this area as well. So next we're going right outside of Memorial Hall. This is Memorial Hall right over here. And we'll be at the Memorial Field, which is utilized by recreational sports such as soccer, lacrosse, even ultimate frisbee and rugby. Rugby is actually a team on campus, and they travel over to other schools and stuff like that. They utilize this area too as well. We also have a beach volleyball court over here, so usually different clubs and organizations will utilize this area, and also we have an intramural beach volleyball team. But behind this, we have the Saranac River that runs right through campus. This area is so nice when it's sunny out and kind of warm. You'll see a lot of people hanging hammocks in between the trees and just relaxing there, sitting out and having a picnic and stuff like that, hanging out with friends. But also we have a trail that runs all the way behind campus. As you can see over here in this area, you can like bike on, ride your skateboard, run, walk, really anything you could as well. A lot of the community will like to use this area too, which is really cool. And also over here, we have an outdoor basketball hoop, which is usually just used by people who want to have fun and play with their friends and stuff like that. So we're going to go across campus now, and now we're at the turf field for the Division III sports. This is utilized by the soccer and also the lacrosse teams. But most importantly, really, is the field house right over here. This is the house for the hockey rink. Hockey is our biggest sport on campus, and it's the most popular. The men's hockey team gets over 1,300 spectators per game, and the women's hockey team has the most consecutive championships and wins in the NCAA history, which is really amazing. You'll see a lot of the community members hanging out over here too. They usually buy like season passes, and you'll see them at every single home game. They're very they have a lot of school spirit, and they will definitely make sure that they're cheering on for the home team. We also have a student section over here and an area for Red Zone. Red Zone is almost like a fan squad of the hockey games and also other like basketball games, stuff like that. They're there, they'll like paint their face red, make sure that the crowd is cheering and getting riled up and stuff like that. And also they will travel to other games off campus as well with the hockey team and stuff like that to cheer on. which is really cool. All right, so this is probably the most important part of the tour, and the most exciting part. This is the dorm. This is our Whiteface Hall. This is one of the freshman dorms on campus. We also have 2 other freshman dorms. We have Wilson Hall, which is the dorm I lived in as a CA this year, and also Moffett Hall. Both Wilson Hall and Whiteface Hall are corridor style, so they have a lot of the doors are all on one wall, and they have the shared like bathroom and stuff like that. But then Moffett Hall is a suite style, and they have 4 suites on each floor, and then the bathroom is within the suite. But before we go into Whiteface Hall, I like to point out the bottom level, which is usually where a lot of the lounge is in most buildings. So as you can see, there's always a pool table and also a ping pong table in each building, and you'll be able to utilize that if you live in the building or if you're visiting friends in other buildings as well. And also there's a ton of seating where you can just hang out with your friends and stuff like that. So as we go in, this is what a normal double style room would look like. So as you can see, we have a ton of different options on what to have in the room. So we have an armoire, a bed, a desk. This kind of looks weird because it's like in an L shape, but there's 2 desks over here. This one desk is the other. And also one of these drawers. That's what one person will get, and then the other person obviously will get the other ones. This is what a suite style would look like. It kind of looks exactly the same, but we like to show this because it looks a lot nicer. They decorated this a lot nicer. But yeah, it's just all you have, all of how you just want to style your room. What's nice is that all the furniture that is in this room and all the other rooms are able to move. So you'll be able to customize how you and your roommate want to make your room and stuff like that, which is awesome. As a CA and meeting everyone on my floor, I got to see what all the other people, how they set up their room, and it was amazing. Like every room was completely different. So it's just amazing how many different options and ways of styling your room you can have, which is really cool. What you can bring in your room is 1 fridge, so you and your roommate are gonna have to figure out who is bringing what. But you can have as many Keurigs as you want, as many TVs as you want. You just cannot have any microwaves, candles, hot plates, really anything that can catch something else on fire you cannot have. I do recommend bringing a fan, although it might seem like Plattsburgh is always cold. It does get hot in the beginning of the fall semester and also the end of the spring semester, so bringing a fan definitely will help you cool down. What's also nice is that the upgraded buildings, which is basically all the buildings on campus, you're able to control the heat that comes out. You can't control the temperature, but you control how much heat comes out of the radiator, which is amazing. So if it does get a lot stuffy, which it does, you'll be able to turn it down, and it'll feel a lot better, which is really great. I always have it almost off because it's so hot, but it just all depends on how you like to sleep and stuff like that. With that being said, I always like to mention to bring a humidifier. Me personally, I got a lot of sinus infections my first 2 years here, and it was because of the heat all like in the room and stuff like that. So the first 2 years I was like, oh no, I'm fine. And then this year I was like, I really need to buy a humidifier, and it helps so much. So definitely if you feel like you're gonna get, if you're prone to sinus infections or something like that, definitely bring a humidifier. It'll help you a lot. So this is what a bathroom would look like. So as you can see, there's like a bedroom right over here, but this is area that's shared by the whole floor. There's actually 2 of these sets of bathrooms on each floor, 1 on each side of the hall. So as you can see, they're like pod style bathrooms. So as we go in here, there's a shower, a sink, and a toilet, and then you'll be able to close yourself in by a door and lock yourself in there, which is really nice. I actually lived in Whiteface Hall my freshman year, and that was before they renovated this area, or this building. I actually forgot to mention this building is actually a year old, not even. They just renovated this, So when I was a freshman, it was not renovated, and it was kind of gross. I'm not gonna lie. They had the showers were all stall-like, but the only way that like it was only a curtain there, so it was like I always felt like someone was gonna walk in on me. But this is so nice because you'll be able to just close the door in, lock yourself in there, and not have to worry about someone like opening up the door while you're in the bathroom or taking a shower or something like that, which is so helpful. And it's just another place where you can just have your own privacy. Being in a room with another person, you kind of feel like you don't really have privacy. So just having this one area in the building, you'll be able to just do your own thing and be with yourself, like, and no one else, which is really nice. And it's a great place to just have on in the building, stuff like that. So next, this is the Sky Lounge in Whiteface Hall. This is actually on the 9th floor of the building. Here you'll be able to look out and see really like a beautiful landscape. We have the Champlain Lake Champlain, I'm sorry. Over here, you can kind of see it over here. We also have the mountains of Vermont, and you can't really see it in this picture, but you can see the Saranac River as well. This is Kent Hall. It's actually getting renovated now, and it would be for any transfer students. Say if you are a junior, senior, or grad student, you'll be able to live there. But here, this area is utilized by a lot of the CAs of the building. So you can see here, this is what it would look like, what it looks like when it's furnished. It's just another place where you can hang out with your friends. What's also nice is that this room is air conditioned, so when it is hot out, you'll be able to go in here and just cool off, which is really nice. But the CAs like to throw a lot of programs and have different events on the floor, and they'll utilize this area to do those programs, which is really cool. Another place that they utilize for those programs is the kitchen. Each floor has one kitchen on it. And so we have a stove, a sink, a fridge, and also a microwave. So you really have no reason to bring a microwave because you will be able to use this here. What's nice is that the CAs will use this for like cooking events. I know for my floor, I did a breakfast for dinner. So we made pancakes and bacon, and we made it all in here. A lot of my residents helped us, and we got to sit out and just hang out with all of the residents and stuff like that, which was really awesome. It's just make sure that you clean up after yourself. It can get really nasty, and if you're not taking care of it, and the janitors get very mad. So definitely try to keep that clean, and usually the CAs will have to like say something to the floor or make the residents clean it up and stuff like that. So you don't want to do that. Yeah, so definitely just keep it clean. Okay, so next, this is Macomb Hall, which is one of the low-rise buildings on campus. This is mainly for upperclassmen, but if you are a freshman and you decide you wanted low-rise instead of a high-rise building like Whiteface Hall was, you can live in this building as well. So as we go in here, this is what the lounge looks like. This lounge is utilized by the students that live here, but also the community governments. So if you were interested in community government, they usually have their meetings here, stuff like that. And also I like to point out the washing machines. So in this building, we actually have a washing machine area on each floor, but for all the other buildings, they're all in the basement, and there's a lot more washing machines than this. But what's nice is that the washing machines or the laundry is incorporated into your meal, not your meal, your room and board. So you don't have to pay with quarters or anything like that. You just need to bring your clothes and also your detergent and stuff like that. What's also nice is that we have a Laundry View app. So it'll be able to show you what washing machines and dryers are open or what's being used, stuff like that. This is so helpful, especially if you live in a high rise and like say the 9th floor or something like that. You'll be able to just look at that before you go all the way downstairs to realize that there's nothing open. You'll be able to just look and see if anything's open and then bring your stuff down if there is. All right, so this is Clinton Dining Hall. This is actually the biggest dining hall on campus. But before we go in there, I like to point out these two buildings over here. This is Moffett Hall. This is a freshman dorm that's suite style. And then this is Wilson Hall back here. That's the corridor style dorm. What's nice is that they're literally right next to Clinton Dining Hall, so you do not have to walk far to eat, which is it's really great, especially when it is cold out. You'll just be able to walk all the way over here and then eat your food and walk straight back, and it's maybe like 30 seconds to walk, which is really great. So as we go downstairs, this is what the area to get your food looks like. This area is a buffet style, so you'll be using meal swipes instead of the dining dollars that I been mentioning throughout this tour. Meal swipes is just you swipe your card and it takes off one swipe, and then you can eat as much as you want. There's no money amount or something like that attached to it. It's just one swipe and you can eat whatever you'd like. For freshmen, you have unlimited meal swipes, so you really are never going to go hungry, especially with that meal plan. But we have a ton of options here. We have like a pasta station over here, pizza. This area changes in and out every day, so there's always something new. We also have a area for burgers, fries, chicken fingers, and also a vegan area and a sandwich area over here. And we also have a ton of salad bars, fruit, and soups that change out every single day as well. We also like to point out the seating that's in Clinton Dining Hall. So as you can see, there's a ton of different options. It's almost like a restaurant style seating. So we have booth style over here, high top, and also an area where you can sit and by the fire on the couch, stuff like that. And also we have these long tables over here. So say if you are on a Division III team, or if you have a large friend group, you'll be able to fit everyone here, which is really nice. Now we're going across campus again. So this was Memorial Hall. That was the first gym that we saw with the basketball court, the climbing wall, and stuff like that. And then this is Myers Hall, which is the fine arts building. I know I mentioned it before we went into Yoakum, which is the communications building with the lecture hall and stuff like that. But before we go in there, I like to point out this red pole right over here. This is the blue light system that we have on campus. This is scattered throughout the whole campus, and you'll find one really anywhere that you go. What's nice about this is that if there's an emergency in this area, or if you say you don't feel safe, you'll be able to press a button and university police will be there within 60 seconds, which is amazing. Personally for me, I never felt uncomfortable on campus, even though it is a open style campus. It's not closed like some of the other schools in New York and stuff like that. I've never felt uncomfortable. There's always students walking around and university police going through campus, so I always felt comfortable and safe here. Also for the dorms, I forgot to mention, they are always locked. So you have a student ID card, and you would have to use that card to get into your building. You can't get into the building any other time because it locks automatically as soon as it closes. So that helps. So no one that's outside of campus that doesn't have a card can't get, they won't be able to get in, unless obviously if someone lets them in, but we try to tell people not to do that. And also what's nice is that in your dorm, it's a PIN code, so you don't have to carry a key or anything. You just push in the code, unlock the door, and as soon as it closes, it locks. So you don't have to worry about making sure oh, did I lock my door? Anything like that. It's always locked as soon as it closes. So now, as we go into Myers, finally, this is the art building again. This is for theater, music, and art students and other majors that are within those genres. What's nice is that as you first walk in, this is the student gallery. So as you can see, there's a ton of different art and sculptures all over this area. This is all student artwork. So any of your peers or any of your friends can put up their artwork here, and they'll be able to present it to the whole school and other people that go in through this building. What's nice is that there's so many different artwork pieces that it's always interchanging in and out. So there's always something new when you go in here. I always like going in here and admiring the art because I am not that great at art, but I always wish I was. And seeing what people can do and how talented they are, it's really amazing. So next we're gonna go right over here to the Nina Winkle Sculpture Court, which is one of the places where you can just sit in this building. relax, kind of get inspiration, stuff like that. What's also nice is that there's a, it's almost like a greenhouse type of thing. So you can get the sunlight from outside without going outside into the cold, say, which is really nice as well. And also in here we have the Hartman Theater, which is one of the other theaters on campus. Here, a lot of the theater students will be able to utilize this area for acting, doing the props, the lighting, stuff like that. And also there's a ton of different theatrical events that happen on campus throughout the semester. There's multiple ones per semester, so if you are interested in theater and you want to see the theater events and stuff like that, you'll be able to do that multiple times, which is amazing. And those bring a lot of students and other faculty and community members in here to watch what is being presented, which is really cool. So that actually ends the tour there. I hope I answered all your questions. If I didn't, please email us at admissions@plattsburgh.edu, and we'd be happy to help you with any questions, stuff like that. I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy during this time, and I hope to see everyone soon here at SUNY Plattsburgh. So thank you again, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Have a good day.